What do you normally pay attention to when you're out for a walk? Your surroundings, your school or work, whether or not you left the stove on, your music, or are you just lost in thought? In 2010, Harvard psychologists released a study connecting time spent mind-wandering with happiness and life satisfaction. They found that we spent almost 50% of our waking life mind-wandering. But what's more important is that more time spent mind-wandering was associated with a decrease in a person's happiness and life satisfaction. Luckily, there's an antidote for this life-consuming mind-wandering, and that's mindfulness. Mindfulness is paying attention to something in the present moment, on purpose, non-judgmentally. It's the observation of sights, sounds, sensations, and even thoughts and emotions that arise in your mind in each moment in a way that's not cluttered by desire to change them. Sam Harris has a really good quote. The enemy of mindfulness is being lost in thought. It's to be thinking without knowing that you're thinking. The common misconception about mindfulness is that we need to stop thinking. That's not the case at all. The point is to bring awareness to the fact that we are thinking. Let's get back to that question from the beginning. So what do you pay attention to when you're walking? The one thing you're probably not paying attention to is the sensation and movement of walking itself. That's because walking has become automatic to you. Well, the same thing can happen with thinking. The problem is not thinking itself, but rather when we automatically identify with our thoughts. Like walking, we're able to do it, but most of the time we're not aware of it's happening in the present moment. Automatic thinking distorts the way we view everything in the present moment because most of what we think about is unpleasant. We are constantly judging ourselves, judging others, regretting the past, worrying about the future. These patterns of thought have been designed through evolution and natural selection to help us survive in our complex social environments. So, what's actually occurring in the brain during mind wandering? And how does mindfulness change what's happening in our brains? Well, mind wandering is associated with activity in a group of 3 highly connected brain regions. Let's start with the angular gyrus. This area is responsible for language processes related to reading and writing, but it's also involved in memory processes, awareness of the self, and one's own body and movements. Next, we'll talk about the medial prefrontal cortex. This area functions to create emotional evaluations and has a role in emotional vocalizations. You know, the types of thoughts that usually happen during mind wandering. And finally, we'll talk about the posterior cingulate cortex. Now, this area is highly connected within the brain and is one of the most energy-consuming areas within the brain. While its exact function isn't fully understood yet, it's highly activated during autobiographical memories, more specifically, emotional memories related to yourself. These areas make up what is known as the default mode network. The default mode network is important for our daily functioning, but in our modern world, it can become overactive and remove our minds from the present moment to bring regrets of the past, anxieties of the future, and really just distract us from experiencing happiness in the now. Practicing mindfulness can initially lead to decreases in the amount of time we spend in our default mode by noticing when our mind is wandering away and then bringing our attention back to the present moment. Over time, and as practice becomes more consistent, our default mode itself can change. Stay tuned for the next installment of our Neuroscience and Mindfulness series, where we'll discuss how mindfulness can physically change the brain. Thanks for listening.